Eternal night stalks the cobbled streets of Duskval, the dark jewel of the immortal emperor's crown. Entrenched in a web of protective lightning, crisscrossed by canals, and born of the amalgamated ingenuity of sheer desperate survival, the city's denizens languish in the dim and distant light of a shattered star. What spirits stir in red-lit midnight markets and whisper secrets into the looking glass? What can anyone do in High House and hard Scrabble Hounds sharpen the same traitorous blade? Whatever you can get away with, my friends, welcome to Haunted Halls.
Woo!
On what episode now of this score? 3 or 4 of this action-packed score, assaulting the Foghound in the middle of the Void Sea. I'm here with my crew, my posse, my ride or dies. On my left, yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's really good, Jerry. On my left, I've got Christy, who dropped groundbreaking tracks for her new Victorian laser pop album by Gas and Strobe Light last weekend. Christy, can you give us a little taste of what we can expect from that album?
I'm not giving anything away. Yeah. It's the mystery that draws people in.
Hell yeah, I can respect that.
Mm-hmm.
You got
it on our website, hauntedhalls.com.
Hauntedhalls.com.
Yeah. Halls, that's Hauls.
Yeah.
Or what was the other one that we bought?
Peggy Leggings.
Peggy
Leggings.
You can also get there at peggyleggings.com. All right. Christy, for the banner question tonight, I'd like to know what the worst advice you've ever received is.
I don't know. I feel like just about everything my dad says is probably some of the worst advice I've ever gotten.
Yeah.
You know, he probably means well, but he is the kind of man who says things like family's the most important thing, but then, never actually says I love you.
Oh.
So,
right. He's a man of a certain age.
Yeah.
Is what they say, right?
He is.
All right. To Christy's left, we have Bonnie, who posed for 48 hours straight wearing clothing made from recycled coffee grounds. Bonnie, what was your avant-garde performance piece called?
It was called Why Is This So Crunchy? I mean, I feel like the name just explains itself, right? I mean,
yeah. You were eating the wardrobe too.
The thing is I could have moved in that 48 hours. It's just I didn't want to because, ow.
Because why is it so crunchy?
Because why is it so crunchy?
It's like that thing from Star Wars, sand. It's coarse and it gets everywhere.
Yeah. Same with coffee grounds, it turns out.
Yeah.
Oh. You were composting.
Yeah.
Composting herself.
Not exactly. Voluntarily.
Well,
All right, Bonnie, what's the worst advice you've ever received?
Oh, God. See, and I was with Christy like, oh, boy. Because some of the worst advice I ever received was just horrible stuff that I don't want to repeat. Right?
Yeah. Also, I feel like I tend to block stuff like that out. Like, I've gotten really good at, as much as I complain about my dad, the good thing about him is he has so vigorously beat into me that you should just not care about what other people think.
Right. Yeah.
Which is good. That's actually good. And so I just don't care about what he thinks.
Yeah. Right back to
Wait, not like that.
Yeah. And so I'm like, oh yeah, who cares? So I just usually let it go and I barely remember stuff.
Yeah.
After a certain point.
I would say the worst piece of advice I've ever got was right whenever I was thinking about college. And I approached my dad, and because he's a tech guy, and I said, I'm looking at some of the programs in IT, networking, that kind of thing. And he said, those are for men. You should do something more geared towards women, like nursing, which, I mean, is a great career. Let's not, let's not knock it, but
nothing wrong with it. It's just,
but what?
Yeah.
That's not the reason people should go into nursing.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What the fuck?
So, I didn't go into nursing, but that was
you went into medical stuff for a red hot minute.
Well, I did. I did.
Finally, then started your career in IT, which has made you much happier.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that was pretty wild advice, but Thanks, Dad.
Thanks. All right. Jerry, what bad advice did your dad give you? No.
So much.
To Bonnie's left, we've got Jerry, who had to testify before Florida Congress last weekend to answer questions after hoarding an absurd amount of fuel, meth, and loose individuals of all genders leading to a Florida-wide government shutdown. Jerry, was the government finally able to reopen after you gave back the meth?
They were not, sir. They were not able to open back up. They demanded that I give back the other genders and stick with one. I told them no.
Equal.
Cake is cake. Does not matter if it comes with a candlestick.
Well, hell yeah, Jerry. Oh, that's funny. Sorry, you took it and ran with it.
I always do.
All right, what's the worst advice you've ever received?
So working at a auto repair shop, a man would tell me almost daily, because he would roll in with different cars and different motorcycles, that Jerry, if you want what I want, this is what I need you to do. I need you to take, a couple $1,000s. I need you to go to a certain credit union, open a bank account, leave it open for 6 months. Once you have that open, go and get yourself a LLC, and then open a separate business account with that credit union. And then you transfer whatever debt that you have, be it auto in particular, over to that business account with that credit union. And, you can go ahead and, since you have a established history, you can go out and get yourself some cars, lease some cars, all under the business name as opposed to your name. So if things go sideways, it's not attached to you. And then he would go on about, this is the reason why Elon Musk is a billionaire, because he does everything on credit. What this guy doesn't tell you is that an LLC is just a pass-through. So if something happens to if something happens to that business, you are personally responsible for it.
Right.
Yeah, it drops right on your head.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, dude, cool. Well, wait till that shit catches up to you.
Yeah.
God. So you, just to be totally clear for the audience, you didn't follow the advice.
I did not.
Okay.
Right.
Damn.
At the time I needed a car too, I'm like, I refuse to do that. I'm sorry, dude.
Damn.
I mean, listen, he lived his best life.
He
until,
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got divorced and
Until
started repossessing some cars and stuff like that.
the avalanche of debt
Yeah.
cascaded down on his head.
Hey,
Oh my God.
it's the American way.
Yeah,
Just living the American dream.
yeah,
American
he's
dream.
living the life, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's a pretty good one, Jerry.
It's so much better than my story.
Oh, okay, I got one from my father.
You don't have to do that. Well, since your dad pseudo listens,
Yeah.
this is not going to be turning into like a completely father bashing kind of.
No, it definitely won't be on my side. Mine was, I remember distinctly living at home while I was in college, and I had, I'd made it all the way through most of my degree. So I was like right at the end of the bachelor's. So I got my bachelor's degree, started teaching because I was a teacher. And I wanted to go back for my master's degree. And I can't remember who it was, but somebody was like, you know what you should do? Is just take out student loans for the entirety of your master's degree.
Oh.
You don't have to pay it back. It pays itself, etc. All this other stuff. Jerry tried so hard to talk me out of taking those student loans out. Jerry said, please, Bobby. I said, but I can buy a laptop to do my master's work on, and I can do all this other thing.
Because it was a private debt. It wasn't even owned by the government.
No, it wasn't. It's the worst kind. I've since got it consolidated by the government, but yeah, Jerry tried to give me the good advice. It's like, for the love of Christ, don't do this. And I was like, no, I'm gonna.
I fucking remember that. Damn, that's a
Yeah.
core memory you out there.
Yep. Next thing you know, $50,000 in student loans, baby. I took the bad advice. You guys all didn't. I did. So kudos
That's
to you.
true.
Yeah.
And then I figured out that really all my problems are related to undiagnosed ADHD.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Diagnosed at 80 years old. That's right.
Yeah.
80 years too late, but that's fine.
You heard it from an octogenarian.
That's right.
Can you tell me how the Dust Bowl was like?
Listen here, young man.
Oh my God. Did you know Rosa Parks?
Personally, yes. We used to have tea time together.
Nice.
Aw.
Nice. I love it. All right. When last we left off, I'm going to do something a little different tonight. because so much is going on with this score, and we left off on such a tense moment last time. So we open on a sea of black glass. 2 ships drift, blue-green running lights the only contrast to the greater darkness of the void sea. From above, they're nothing but shapes, black on black, surrounded by thousands of dim lights beneath the water. Then something rises. A wall of flesh, spined, breathing, stretching so far it disappears to the far ends of the horizon. Sirens begin to scream, metal groans, people start shouting. We descend through the smoke and chaos into the wounded heart of the ship, where engines are literally tearing themselves apart, trying to escape something wrapped tightly around the propellers far below the surface. Painted on the hull in proud letters, the Foghound. A storied ship in many a game of Blades in the Dark. The Foghound has survived storms, ghosts, worse things than sailors tell stories about. But tonight, it's choking on demon flesh as that Leviathan rises up. At the stern, a small crew forces a sleek boat into the water as jagged spines rise around the ship like a forest of spears. Tentacles coil around the deck behind them. As the boat drifts away, a man with an easy smile and a wicked glint in his eye watches them go, and then turns and walks into the belly of the ship. Sharp cracks split the night. Massive tentacles rise from the sea and drag the Foghound down onto waiting spikes. Dark shapes move in the water, on the deck. And out there in the black, something enormous shifts. You're in a small boat in the dark next to something that just killed a ship. What do you do?
Ooh.
Well, shit.
Can we run? Can we?
Well,
we're
in the
not
boat.
Run, yeah. We're probably running around.
Yeah.
What kind of boat is this? Like, is this the
a
kind
really
of thing
great
we're
question.
rowing, or?
Do you want to give me an action to try and determine what type of vessel you have leapt onto in your haste?
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's do some studying.
Who's going to roll it?
Oh, I study.
I don't.
I don't know if I have it or not.
I've got one in study.
You have one in study.
Oh, okay. Well, if you've got it, Jerry.
Okay. Dice don't fail me now. 5.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. You notice a couple of things. Lady who's possibly more bedraggled than normal after having, survived a pretty horrific stint on this ship, takes a look around quickly in survival mode, right? You're in fight or flight. I think Lady chooses both every time,
Yes.
Yes.
if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Yeah. So Lady looks around. She notices that there's 3 Foghounds still on the ship. They're all in the front of still in the boat. They're in the front of the boat at the controls. One has this kind of hand on what seems to be like a steering apparatus of some kind. It's a round wheel on the front. He's got his hands behind him, nervously leaned back just a little bit over the steering console. The other 2 are arrayed to his left and his right. They've got their empty hands up. They're kind of in a very like, we just watched you kick a whole bunch of ass and literally killed 2 other dudes who are on here with us. Please don't kill us. Like the alternative is to jump into the void sea with the spears and spikes and tentacles everywhere. So they don't want that. But they're also the enemy, or at least they were, a minute and a half ago. Okay. You've got Jiminy, who's watching all 3. Medusa's kind of crouched down low in the ship, tending to Lady. El Tigre's in the front, also watching the 3 of them. It's really tense. You notice what appears to be a mass in the back of the ship of strange metallic cylinders bent around each other, around a central block of what looks like thicker metal. It's got electroplasmic green pulsing around the outside of it. And Lady, who's been begging me for a motorcycle for maybe 6 or 7 episodes now, realizes that this might be one of those brand new prototypical electroplasmic engines.
Holy shit.
Yeah. But that means who the hell knows or is going to be able to do anything with it. You can see the ship.
Somebody.
Yeah, the ship's floating away. You got the 3 guys standing there. It's actually, sorry, I keep saying guys generically, but it's actually
3 sailors.
3
3
sailors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do? Your consequence is that Man, it's just you're really scared right now. No.
I mean, aren't we all?
Yeah.
We might not try to show it, but
Yeah.
we all are.
Consequence, though, for real
Yes.
is going to be just a little bit of time loss as you take all that in. It takes a little bit longer than you would hope, and perhaps you've lost an opportunity now.
Okay. Pull the sword out, and I pointed at that individual like, "Oi, come here. I want you separate from the rest of them. You sit back here with me, and your friends can help navigate and power this ship. You got me?"
They move to comply, clearly wanting to comply. But as soon as they pull their hand away from their side, there's a wound just beneath their ribs, oozing dark blood. You can actually see it kind of pouring out. They're in really, really bad shape,
Just the one, right? Not all of them.
as far as you can tell.
Okay.
That's the one I pointed out.
The one they say, "I'm Nets. Please don't hurt me. I'm done for unless we get out of this."
I'll turn to Medusa. It's like, can you do anything to help them?
Emmy has taken on Tinker recently. Hey.
Okay. I would give you risky for lesser effect, since you don't have the ability specifically to tinker on humans.
Okay.
But I'd say I would rule that you could use it.
Shroud also has one in Tinker, so I could help.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Medusa will just kind of look around wildly like, "What, me? I don't know anything about that. That looks terrible."
Okay, that's fine. Emmy, do you have something?
I can try to figure it out. I've been paying attention to Riven lately when she's bandaging people up, especially Jaren, and yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Okay, good.
Shroud will say, that shit's gonna need stitches. Ugh.
You're fucked. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Let's do the action.
Yeah, so I'm going to look at the other two and I will ask them, do you have a medical kit around here? What do you have on this ship? We need to get moving. Show me the medical kit.
The one in the front, the one in the center, says, "We didn't keep medical kits on here because we kept all that stuff back in the treasury. So this boat hasn't been out of that dock in weeks. I think we only use it every once in a while to run somebody quickly to the coast. It's loud, you see. It's a loud boat, but I know how to work it. Just don't hurt Nets. Can you fix them up?
I'll try. And really, we need to get out.
There's risks. It's a loud motor."
I think that's... we have to take it. I don't know that we have a choice.
Okay. All right, give me that roll. Let's see what happens.
Am I taking an extra die?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
A 2.
Oh, no.
The other one is a 1, so...
Okay. There's currently... Will you hand me the stack of clocks up there, please, Jerry?
Can I resist?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to resist.
Oh, yeah.
Which
Hang on just a
means-
second. Jerry's gonna...
It's still gonna move?
It already had one tick on it.
My
I just
God.
want to make sure I'm tracking it right. But go ahead. Yeah, if you want to resist.
Damn, what the hell?
Well, he got
the
gut
hell
shot last round. Last combat scene. All right.
Okay,
You're gonna resist?
yes.
Okay.
What do I do again?
It's it's actually we've been doing it right. It's not just one die. I keep saying one die. For this particular kind of resisting, let me see here. Let me just pull up a character sheet.
I really like to play dumb on the rules for new listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really considerate.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to resist with insight. So however many things you have at least one dot in, that's how many dice you get to resist. So 3 dice.
So I roll 3 dice.
And then take the highest, and whatever you get, you subtract from 6.
Okay, here we go. A 6!
Yay!
Whew, okay. Listen.
All right, you get a bandage on Nets around their middle section, and get them more comfortable in the seat. They kind of seem to be doing okay.
That's
for
good.
the time being.
I cleaned the wound with some alcohol first.
Hey, that was mine.
You'll be okay. I know you're an alcoholic, but
Oh, wow.
we'll get plenty again soon.
Rude.
We all are. I mean,
Yeah. Shh. Don't tell the new guys that.
they know.
Nets gets down. That means that the other one introduces himself. He says, I'm Iron Jory. I'm the boat's mechanic. I've got a background in putting things like this together. I used to work at the university.
Hell yeah.
If you do a good job and we get out here alive, then we'll have a job for you. We need to get out of here.
He says, hey, the Foghound might pull through. And at that moment, you hear an almighty explosion from the other side as Mork's Fluffernutter detonates in the bottom of that ship. A couple of things happen.
I forgot about that bomb. Oh, no.
A couple of things happen at the same time. So the explosion goes off. It illuminates for a moment in bright orange-white contrast the horror show that is the surrounding seas around this boat. You notice that. You notice at the front of the boat, way off the front port side of the boat, there's still a huge water spout. And it seems like it's been gaining momentum and power because it's just out here feeding on the electroplasm that's in the blood, that's in the water in this thing. So when that explosion happens, I want you to just imagine those internet videos shoot fire into a tornado, like they have like fans set up and then catch it on fire and it makes like a giant flaming tornado. Because the blood from the Leviathan that you just detonated a bomb on top of gets sucked into that attuned, now electroplasmically charged tornado.
And Shroud has no control over it now?
No.
Hey, Shroud can try and exert control over it, and she did start it.
I can try.
The other Foghound that's with you's face goes pale. She says, I'll do whatever I can to get us out of here. Here, I'll sit with Nets. Is that okay?
No, we don't need to sit around. We need to get this ship moving.
This isn't that kind of ship. Watch what Iron Jory does. Do it. And then he takes out what looks like a key fob or something and shoves it into the console of this thing, gives it one good, turn to the right, and you hear what sounds like a throbbing, almost like a motorcycle engine, deep rumble start. Actually, you probably don't hear much of it at all because at that exact moment, something off in the distance, if you've got the Foghound on or like behind you, you're kind of going away from it, out of the back of it. You have the body of the Leviathan on the right side of your boat, like just taking up a football field worth of real estate. There's no way to get over to where Jack is because a fucking body that's 100 yards across is in between you and him. But in that direction that your boat is now pointed, away from the Foghound towards the end, you hear what can only be described as like a kaiju sound. It's like a deep groaning, as though this thing has a mouth and it's in that direction and it's crying out in pain. So,
aww.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you detonated a piece of it. So electroplasmic tornado of death and destruction behind you, the mouth of this thing in front of you, the body of it between you and safety, a ship now visible off to the left that only Seneca was aware of before. So you're all just kind of seeing that just now.
Ugh.
And the noise is unbearably loud. But as soon as that engine turns over, the ship surges forward. And Iron Jory, as you now know his name is, begins trying to weave the boat between these spikes of bone jutting up out of the water and these little clots of tentacles that are surging up out of the ground. What's more disturbing is the explosion and the tornado and the sound trigger those egg sacs that I described earlier. Start just like vibrating.
No. They don't. I've decided. No.
And several of them explode.
No.
You recall in the last episode I described a fusillade of bangs on the hull of the Foghound. You now know what caused that, as you see one of them explode kind of close to it, and these seed pod bits that are maybe the size of a large watermelon get flung into the Foghound. They get flung, they're dropping all around you. It's almost like mortar rounds hitting the water and exploding up. And everywhere you see them hit the water, Immediately soon after, some kind of creature starts swimming swiftly under the surface of the water. I need to know what y'all are doing, because you have danger literally everywhere.
Screaming.
I'll take a trauma and I'll start crying.
Yeah. Yes. I'll take one too. Oh my God.
You've got the spikes of bone. You have the tentacles that are searching out the boat. You've got Iron Jory is now like weaving around things, so you're having to hang on for dear life. PLJ has a brick in his hand, but it's like he's trying to figure out what the hell to throw it at first. Because there's everything is everywhere. And then back you have the Foghound, which is now, it's been pulled onto the body of the Leviathan. Literally, it's got some tentacles that are even bigger than the ones you've seen before. Like maybe as big around as tree trunks have like pulled up on the starboard side of it and are pulling it down onto the body of the Leviathan as that hole gets blasted in the bottom of it, right? So all of this stuff is happening at the same time. Very soon, you're going to have to contend with some deadly consequences. What's everybody doing?
I'm going over to, what is his name? Jory?
Yeah, Iron Jory.
Iron Jory. I'm going to go over to him and try to direct him on where we're trying to head to.
Okay.
To try to kind of go out past all of this, but then try to kind of circle, not completely back, but almost like we're trying to loop around to see if we can meet up with the Sinner's Respite.
Like put space. So, okay. So yes, I'm down with that. So your choice is like the head side of the Leviathan or the ass side of the Leviathan. The head side has obvious bad things, right? Like,
right.
Whatever makes a noise that loud, you don't want to get swallowed by it.
Yeah.
But the ass end of it is bad because you're having to head towards the Flame NATO and the unidentified large ship that's just off the starboard side of the Foghound.
I mean, I think just trying to get through the explosions would probably be better at this point. We don't want to get, I mean, you get too close to that tornado and you're getting sucked in, so.
Unless. Or do you want to like grab it and go first real quick to try and seize
To try
control?
and, I.
Well, Emmy sees Shroud. She's like sitting there doing her weird, like, I don't know, attune shit. So I start backing off.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then while you're trying to do that, I'm just going to try to secretly, just kind of away from like the new friends that we have. I'll just start whispering to myself, and now it's time to fucking help. Now is the time to do something. Are you there?
It says, I'll help you, but you've got to take that piece of me outside of your friend's Shroud there. Grab her and hold her head tight. Squeeze it to yourself, and I'll do the rest.
What the fuck?
Shroud, you want to give me that roll for a tune?
Sure.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
Oh.
And while you're doing that, I'm just kind of, I look at you like with that crazed look. I'm not making any actions, but just kind of just like.
All right. Well, I probably wouldn't even notice because I'm, staring at the blood NATO.
Jerry, just so you know, I will let you resist, but you made this deal with this thing in your captivity. You can resist, and we'll deal with those consequences separately.
Okay.
Shroud, let's get it going.
All right.
If ever we needed Shroud to roll double sixes, I think now's the time.
Oh, okay.
So just make that happen.
No pressure.
Let me just do that.
Yeah.
I did not do that. I got a 4, a 3, and a 2.
Okay, you got 4.
All right, with the
Okay.
Yeah, I got
works.
a 4, but that is
Except for
not
the
double
consequence.
sixes.
Yeah. Okay.
He jinxed you.
He did.
Success with a consequence. So the success means I am going to let you direct this thing. I think your consequence is going to be that the concentration on doing that and just the sheer amount of willpower that Shroud is having to pour into seizing control over this storm that she herself brought into being earlier and then fed it upon blood and death in the middle of the void sea. I'm going to say I'm going to give you twofold consequences. First of all, it's a desperate action, so mark it so.
Right.
But let's call it Shroud's nose starts bleeding, like blood gushes out of one of your nostrils as you kind of like hold your hands up. You pull it under your control. You feel the moment that all of the elements of electroplasm and like all the things you can attune to, the ghost field, all of it snap together in your mind. You feel the dark seas roiling beneath. You can feel the clouds up above where no sky, no stars exist. And then this connection between the two swirling intensely. The middle of it, your mind boggles to try and put a number to how fast that wind is moving. It's certainly faster than you've ever experienced anything, ever. But you can control it. Nose starts bleeding. I'm going to make you take -1 die to all attune rolls for the rest of the score. And I'm going to make you put one more thing on that box that we've been ticking every time you roll a 6 on a tune.
Okay.
This counts for a 6?
Oh, I think the amount of power that Shroud is channeling right now.
Oh, God.
But it literally says rolling a 6 on a tune.
It does. I'm sorry.
Are you
Tell you
sorry?
what, take it up with HR.
Man.
If we can get back to the goats.
Yeah. The goats can help you. You can maybe negotiate with them, but
Okay.
you're one step closer. You're just channeling so much power. What do you do with it?
Well, I'm going to... Okay. So it's on the other side of this Leviathan body, basically, or...
At this point it is, yeah.
Okay.
It's really close. Like you summoned it, I think we said like 50 yards off the port. So like the Leviathan's body has come up
Right.
like underneath it.
Right.
So it's kind of like right there, sucking water up from either side of the Leviathan and then pulling all that blood and explosive potential from the actual bomb that went off. I don't even think you could say the other side. I think it's like right on top of the Leviathan and it's just pulling water and blood up through it.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
How does it feel to have that much power?
It feels great.
Does it?
Yeah.
She says as she's bleeding out of her nose.
Yeah. But it's a tornado.
You can fucking kill it.
I don't know about that, Jerry. You could definitely try though.
So, I mean, it's big enough that it could potentially do that?
You're basically dealing with a
Like-
massive tornado
Okay.
at this point.
Let's
it's not
put
a
it-
water spout anymore.
All right, hold on.
Yeah.
Let's go Twister movie. This is F what?
F5.
This is an F5?
2 fire.
I don't want to quantify.
Okay.
It's pulled in power,
Right.
fire,
Right.
blood. It is charged. You can feel the connection between heaven and the seas
Okay.
in this thing. So you've got a lot. Yeah.
You know, I don't think it would be too far off that we would put 2 and 2 together. We know that Lord Vulpine was there. Of course, we
Yeah.
might assume that,
Oh my God. Yeah, let's do that.
You've got the first thing you're going to do with it for free.
Yeah.
I'm going to make you roll a tune after this first move again.
At a
and it's going to
-1.
be weaker. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you get
No.
one.
Okay.
Get one to do with what
I
you
think
want.
I was underselling the strength of this thing in my mind. Let's go after Vulpine's ship.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as y'all know, he's stuck on the Foghound. No, you've taken the last lifeboat. So what could he even do with this ship that's, 100 yards off? The ship, by the way, if anybody can remember, I'll give everybody a moment to say the name out loud and prove that you're our number one listener. The Iron Benefactor.
Ah.
Yeah. So you see the Iron Benefactor out there. And just everybody give me a luck roll.
Everyone?
Yeah.
4.
A 3.
4.
Okay, it makes sense for Shroud, and maybe Lady too. Shroud with her obsession, like you do recognize that as a House Kellish ship.
Oh.
The Iron Benefactor.
You got the power of a god right now? You won't take that out?
Oh, you and your obsession? Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way you wouldn't try to take that thing out.
Yeah. Take this bad advice.
Oh.
Throw the tornado.
I will throw the tornado at the vampire ship. Yes.
What bad advice?
I'll add just a little bit more of a carrot to this. You see lightning. I mean, this thing is going so hard that probably lightning has started crackling in the skies above it, right? It's literally the friction of the air above this thing, and the heat and all that other stuff is generating electricity. So we have these flashes of lightning just start lancing down from the skies. And in one of them, all of you catch the flickering specter of this upright body, strong, holding on to the ship as it's twisted sideways on the Foghound. And there's a moment where across 50, 75, 100 yards between you and him, eyes lock. You can't tell if it's on Emmy or if it's on Shroud or if it's somehow both of you. But then this thing hurls itself across the void sea, jumps within human strength and power, and lands on the deck of that Iron Benefactor.
Oh no.
just imagine the lightning strikes as you see it flying across the distance. And it stands and looks back at you. What are you doing with that tornado?
I feel like you're inspired by Frankenstein. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
A little bit.
In this scene.
Yeah. It's that kind of, though.
Yeah.
Great callback to the raw power, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what I'm trying to tap into.
Do it.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of a really cool punchline like, I brought you into this world. I can sure take you out, boy. So Shroud witnessed this, right? I mean, she just saw him leap.
Yeah.
Oh,
in the moment.
God, that's wild.
You've got very soon, if we don't move on
Yeah.
things to do, we're getting into territory where things are going to start jumping on your ship. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah. Shroud is going to just start laughing maniacally.
Yeah.
Just like, you think you got away from me? Watch this. And she is going to move that tornado towards the iron benefactor and push it as hard as I can. I don't care if my brain falls out of my nostrils. I'm coming after that bitch. He's mine.
So you're just hurling it in that
I am
direction.
hurling it, yeah, wholesale.
That tornado peels off the body of the Leviathan, kind of carves through the front of the Foghound, and it's got so much heat in it that you can see things spontaneously catch fire on the decks. Anything that's made of wood, not metal, just immediately. You hear renewed screams, and maybe even Shroud feels a little bad because like the few remaining Foghounds who are alive are gathered up on that deck. Maybe you even see one with a little needle in his mouth, the glint of it as he watches what's happening.
Oh, that would make me laugh even harder.
Poor Jerry. I hope you didn't love Seneca, Jerry.
I did. Oh.
Fucker!
You're killing everyone.
You hurl that tornado of fire across the intervening space between the Foghound and the Iron Benefactor. Give me a luck roll.
4.
4 is pretty good. I'm going to say that for just a moment you feel resistance to your control over it. And you see Volpine put his hands up.
Oh, no.
And he tries to hold it back. You can see a moment where he's holding it and you're pushing it. And basically like those two wills are battling it out in the form of this huge fire tornado over the void sea. He realizes maybe an instant too late, maybe just in enough time that he can't hope to push it back. You've already put enough oomph into it. So instead he spins. Like his arms twist in the air as though he's trying to spin it off in a different direction, and it curves, and instead of smashing directly into his ship, it clips the front of it and again sets things on fire. Like everything that's covered, wooden furniture, all kinds of stuff. It looks like a little bit less of a cargo ship and more of like the kind of yacht that a rich house might take out. Just lights on fire. You see him just bellowing orders. You can't hear, it's too far away, there's too much noise, but the ship lurches into action and you can tell that it's wounded and that it might not make it back, but it is taking off. It is retreating. It's not turning to come try and get you. So
Good.
yeah, all right, that's good. Okay, Iron Jory weaving around says, "You want me to go back towards the explosions? That's what you said? Away from the head of the Leviathan?"
Not anymore. I mean, it seems like there's an opening now, right? Like where we can go get out a little more smoothly.
Leviathan's body is still there. You're at this point right now that the Leviathan's body is basically constitutes a 100-yard barrier between you and the Sinner's Respite for as far as you can see in either direction. And all the dangers that go with that, like the bone spires, the tentacles, the creatures that are literally shooting through the water as fast as your boat is going right now. So if you want an easier way to the Sinner's Respite, you guys are going to have to make one, essentially.
Okay. I mean, I feel like Shroud is the only way to make that route, right?
Shroud's gonna be like, but he's getting away. He's getting away.
Shroud, we need to live.
He needs to die.
At what cost? So that we die too?
Don't do this to me.
We can get him another time.
No.
Shroud's right. We need to kill him. He's too powerful. We need to go after them. Now.
But then we'll die.
As long as we take that bastard out. He's too powerful.
We can take him another time.
We may not have another chance.
We'll make another chance. We have the book on vampires. We can make something to help us take him down. We can do this.
Okay. You're in charge.
The voice in your head. Do it now.
No, just
Grab her.
stop.
Shroud's gonna say, fuck, okay. Here we go. And she's going to, once again, trying to tune back in with that tornado and rein it in.
All right. Before we get to your tune roll, I need a resistance from Jerry if he's really not going to grab Shroud.
Yeah.
And I need some kind of maybe a command or something just to interact with Iron Jory so that he's on board with your plan.
Okay.
Okay, Jerry, let's start with you.
All right, I'm going to roll my resolve to resist.
All right. 6 minus whatever it is. Hey, if you roll a 6, no trauma, right? But if you roll a 5, it's a trauma.
I guess, yeah. I guess so.
Shit.
Ladies, how many traumas?
Some haunted, unstable.
Haunted doesn't. I think I've said this before, but I'll say it again so everyone remembers. Haunted does not count against your maximum that you have to have before you retire. So
Okay.
technically only your second.
Technically, but yeah. So unstable's the only one I have.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Totally fine. Drive lady like a stolen car.
Driver like a stolen car.
Do it.
All right.
A 6.
Yay!
Oh my God, that's 2 for 2. I'm gonna start calling y'all the Invincible Crew. There's nothing.
No.
Let me take a moment to talk about how you will never die. Your characters are
Oh no.
the best characters imaginable.
Fuck.
All right.
All right. So you,
This was fun.
effectively tamp down the voice in your head, the librarian. You basically tell her to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I scream it out loud because I'm talking to myself at this point. I'm like, stop! No! I will not! And then I kind of just look up, and I'm sure everyone's like, except for you.
Yeah. Well, Shroud's gonna kind of turn around from where she's standing and be like, the fuck are you talking? You don't have to do shit. Shut up.
You're right. Okay. I'm sorry.
LT Gray's like, no one's expecting anything, brother. All right, let me get down there with you, and I'll make sure everything's okay, lady.
Now I get in a fetal position and just kind of like crawl up next to him.
And he's, I think LT Gray gives excellent hugs
With his great arms.
with his huge arms.
Yeah, I feel like safe in his arms.
Yeah, feelings.
Aww.
That's right.
Big spoon, little spoon.
God, I want to be the little spoon.
Yeah. If you feel safe and everything until you look up and Peg Leg Jeep is like on one of his shoulders with a flare gun in one hand and a brick in the other, literally crouched right above you. If he drops the brick, it'll hit you in the face. Like it's that kind of thing. But he's ready.
Yeah, because there's going to be little monsters on this ship. This boat.
Yeah, speaking of monsters, the boat rocks to the left as Shroud raises up her arms to start trying to take control of that spout again.
Oh.
And you see what at first you mistake to be like, a root system, like maybe like driftwood roots fling themselves over the side of the boat. But it's actually teeny tiny, like pinky-sized tentacles from these things.
No.
And they haul themselves up. And it's like, it's hard to explain. I like a segmented insectoid body with these tentacles rushing out of its arm and leg stalks. It's got a diamond-shaped head that when it opens, you can see 2 wickedly curved fangs underneath 2 really big, fleshy protuberances, almost like a cottonmouth. It just feels like it's poisonous.
No.
And those tentacles grip so well. It just hauls itself up on one side, and then a second one, and then a third one.
Oh.
So actually, we'll let Emmy deal with that problem.
Hey, it's time for a palm pistol, baby. All the palm pistols.
I don't want to shoot a hole in the
That's tough.
boat.
I don't want to get eaten by an insect. These things are disgusting. I don't want them to touch me.
We also have an engine with fucking electroplasm on this
And
boat.
we're in a void sea, and there's a cat, 5 hurricane that was summoned.
Spoken like a true Daytona
Yeah.
native.
Just another Tuesday.
This is another Tuesday, baby.
The heat rolling off that thing, just outrageous. Just to pull us back. You got these things dancing all over. Don't forget, you You also have almost the entire crew to command to, or to ask to support you or something. You could lead a group action and have you, Tigray, and PLJ and Medusa just assault these things.
Oh, I will do that.
And our new friends too, right? Because
Yeah.
Yes.
At least one of the new friends. One's driving, the other's gravely wounded.
Oh.
And the gravely wounded one will get up and do it. Not saying they won't.
It's okay. We can let Nets rest.
Chill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nets and Lady should chill.
All right. So if you do this, group action, we all roll. I'll roll for some people. I'll roll for PLJ. Someone roll for LT Gray. Someone roll for Medusa. Someone roll for Etta. And then you roll for yourself. And then if we fail, you take stress for everyone who rolls a 3 or lower, essentially.
I might
But they all
finally
get-
take on trauma.
They all
Holy
get 2
shit.
dice, yeah. I mean, it's a desperate pitched fight on the deck of this boat, but you're buying Shroud the time to redirect the storm and try and literally push a gap down, or just shove the Leviathan's body low enough that you can thread a needle to get back to where the Sinner's Respite is.
Okay.
It's up to y'all. All
Just
right,
one, right?
2,
Two.
because you paid for them to have
Oh yeah.
to be higher quality. Yeah. They're your
Nice.
tier +1,
Nice.
which means pretty soon they'll get 3 dice sometimes.
You want it for Medusa?
I'll do Medusa, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's only on actually, Jerry, you're right. They get 2 on things that are like social scores because you guys went in that direction. So it's only 1 die.
Oh, okay.
Why did I open my
Okay.
damn mouth?
Yeah,
Why
Jerry.
did you open your damn mouth?
Yeah.
You silly bastard. I'll tell you what, we haven't done this yet because it hasn't been a thing, but your cohorts are, at this point, you have enough of them that we could probably diversify and have some that are party social cohorts and some that are combat cohorts, right? It makes sense for Tigray and PLJ to be, Pegleg Jeep to be like combat oriented. And I'll give you even Ada, who I even have in my notes right here, is holding a holdout pistol. If things had gone south, I was going to cap one of y'all, but they didn't. You were reasonable for once.
That is
So-
surprising.
So if you want, we'll do the combat folks. So Tigray and PLJ. I'll roll 2. Someone else roll 2. Roll 2 for Ada, and then you.
Okay.
Does that sound good? Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. Let's do our rolls.
Yeah. Come on, PLJ. Damn it.
A 5.
PLJ's failed.
Medusa 3.
Oh no, Medusa wasn't going to go.
Oh.
You were rolling for
Right.
Ada.
Well, I rolled a 3 for
Still
Ada
a 3.
then.
Okay.
A 4.
Okay. There's one. So you take 2 stress,
Okay.
and a 4 and a 5 is the best.
A 5.
Okay.
Is the best.
Success with a consequence.
Okay.
Your stress is full.
Yeah. So I'm taking on a trauma.
Do you want to pick it? No, let's wait until.
Oh yeah. That's for later.
Yeah.
That's for
Desperate
later.
action though, so give yourself that desperate credit, your experience.
Emmy's going to turn to the rest of the crew who's available, and she's just going to start yelling, "Try not to shoot, because we have all this electroplasm and who knows whatever the fuck else is out there, but we need to get this shit off of here."
All right, they rise up, and I think that the reason you get the trauma, and the thing that I'm going to give us a nice little consequence, is PLJ slips off of LT Gray's back. He's usually so sure, so invincible, but in this moment of just darkness and dire panic, he slips down, and one of the things lowers down to bite him. I think he gets a brick in its mouth, so I don't think he takes the poison. I'm going to save you off that one. But he definitely takes a level 2 harm as it claws in and wraps around his arm so tight. He cries out in pain. He keeps the flare gun in his hand, and he keeps his wits about him enough not to fire it at the thing, even though you see him for a second press the barrel up against this creature's face. But instead he's like, "Oh, Mom, it's got me! Help me, Mom!" And Tigray jumps in, equally fumbling in his panic over what's happening, and rips the thing off of his arm.
Okay.
Pulls it away as quickly as he can. I think the whole thing just freaks Etta out. She does pull the trigger on her gun. It doesn't hit anything vital, but it doesn't hit anything that's going to do anything either. So only one of them has been thrown overboard. What does
Okay.
Emmy do to neutralize the other 2?
Emmy is at first yelling out, "Pegleg!" But then she sees that Tigray is taking care of him, and so she's going to go to the closest thing, this demon spawn.
It chitters in your face. It makes a weird clicking with its jaw that's so fast it sounds like something between the purring of a cat and something on a drum fast.
Emmy has already used her burglary gear to set some traps earlier, and so she's going to start digging through her burglary gear. She has a coil of wire and fishing hooks.
Okay.
She takes the wire and hook and just like starts throwing it and wrapping that coil and hook around that thing and then throws it overboard.
Throws it so it drops like a stone, sinks down.
Oh my God.
Okay. With the 5, I'll say that you toss and like pull a hoth and wrap that cord around 2 of their bodies. Maybe just catch the tentacles of 2 of them and then throw. I'm going to cost you the rest of it if you're okay with that. The rest of your burglary tools.
Yeah.
Everything else. And just the whole pack goes over every heavy thing, dragging them. They flail. You see the tentacles grab at the side of the boat. The whole boat tips sideways for just a horrifying second, rises up. You see Jory whipping his hand around, the most use you've ever gotten out of an NPC, riding the boat in such a way where he turns into the pull and it rights it without anybody going overboard. And the things are gone. Shroud. All of this is happening. You're having to command the storm one more time. Everything rides on this, so.
Great. I'm probably also taking a trauma. I see one in my future. Okay.
Trauma sisters.
Trauma bond.
Okay, well, I'm going to roll my attune at a -1, which means I only have 2 dice, like a peasant. Ew. Here we go. Oh, it's 2 twos. No, can I resist? I can take a trauma and try again.
Would you like to resist?
Yeah.
All right. Resist.
Okay. But
Now,
I mean, that is going to
Shroud only has 1 die, right? And you're... Yeah. Okay. Let's see what happens. You could roll a 6.
That's true. I could roll a 6.
Yeah.
I'm not going to roll a 6.
Yeah!
That's ridiculous.
I rolled a 6!
On 1 die. You fucking cheater.
Damn.
Oh, baby.
Oh my God.
I cannot believe that just happened. Oh, my God.
Thank God.
Both your noses are bleeding now.
That's fine.
There's blood coming out of your ears.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Great.
You are proper fucked up.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
You turn, tell me what happens. Tell me how it works. And then I'm going to tell you how it gets a little fucked up because of the failure and resistance roll.
All right.
But overall, you're going to get what you want.
Okay.
So tell me what happens.
Shroud this time can feel just the drain on her physically. She reaches out to try and connect in with the tornado, and she can, but it drops her to her knees. You know, she falters and kind of panics for a second there that she's not going to be able to keep hold of it or, you know, somehow draw it towards us instead.
Yeah.
But she gets it together at that very last second and gets that control back on that tornado.
I'm going to say that you push it down into the body of the Leviathan that is kind of behind the Foghound. So it's more just like reversing its direction, swinging it back around, and then trying to push down and dissipate that energy down. Because what you're really hoping for is something that's just going to push the body of that creature down enough where it sinks into the ocean. It's only got to sink like 5 feet. It doesn't have to go far. It just has to sink and bob there for long enough for that motorboat to come back around and surge through the gap that it leaves. So you do that. You push the whole thing back around. It gets behind the Foghound. What's left? The Foghound's cracked in half. You can see people grabbing buoyant things and hurling themselves into the water, just trying to get off the ship before it goes down completely. It's on fire. It's cracked in half. It's a doomed ship. Shroud pushes it down. I need someone to roll me a luck roll for Iron Jory's piloting ability, and then we will see exactly how this thing ends.
Oh my God, are we jumping the shark?
You're jumping the shark.
Holy shit.
Okay.
You got this. I believe in you. But I'm going to close my eyes, okay?
Okay. A 3.
3.
Oh.
Not great. Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. So Shroud's, the fire of the thing does not dissipate beneath the void sea like you would want it to. Okay. So instead, what you manage is all the force of the storm pushing down. The Leviathan's body dips. All those spines and all those tentacles and all that stuff is still on the surface, and it creates an almost impossible obstacle course for Iron Jory to try and weave your new motorboat through. And he does. He gets it through. But the damage that thing takes as it goes through, you see chunks come off the side. Pegleg Jeep shouts out as water starts rushing in where he is, takes off his hat and starts dipping the water out, bailing it as you're going, just thinking quick on his feet. The other side, like you have a part that just gets scraped right down the side and you see a tear above the water line, but such that any kind of disturbance to the boat and you'll be sinking. The heat gets pulled into the intakes for that engine and it begins belching black smoke.
No!
Iron Jory desperately holding it together. It's a miracle. You couldn't fault him. And he did the best he could in the worst possible circumstances. You make it out on the other side, just barely. And the ship is, or your boat is being carried forward on nothing but momentum. Pegleg, looking around, seeing the water flood up inside. He's got a bloody arm. It's got these weird little sucker, like wounds all over it, almost like he was mauled by an octopus or something. Takes his flare gun and says, we could use this to signal the Sinner's Respite. Are we going to make it, Mum?
Yeah, do it now.
He lifts it to the sky. He pulls the trigger. A bright red-white flare pierces the darkness. And we'll see you next week.
Oh, I knew you were going to do that. I knew it. Oh, God.
We've been haunted halls. I thought that was a pretty good score. I think we're pretty much through with it. That was a fucking crazy score. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next time. Until then, bye.
Haunted Halls is a production of WSC Media. Bobby White is your host, with Jerry, Christy, and Bonnie voicing our scoundrel protagonists. Introductory song by Josh Wagner, Toby Bradner, Brandon O'Connor, with additional music by Bobby White. For more information, catch us on hauntedhalls.com, spelled HAULS. And if you like what you've been hearing, please support us on our Patreon.
The iron part's really important.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, there's 2 other Jories on the ship.
Are you serious?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. It's kind of sad when you think about it.